Welcome to Hoop Talk Fanatics, episode number 26. I am here with the famous Rockets Twitter, Will, and I'm excited to have him on to talk about Rockets Summer League and how it's going and free agency heating up around the league and what his thoughts are on that. So welcome, Will.
Yeah, man, thank you for having me. It's my second time. I'm excited.
So my first question is, what were your initial thoughts on last night's game?
Last night's game was a disaster. It wasn't the showing that we wanted it to be. Our number three pick, Jabari Smith, he didn't have. I'm not gonna put the game on him. I think a lot of it was on um, the guard play. It to me that was I don't want to get too harsh, but to me that was very selfish guard play I saw yesterday. It was a lot of guys who looked like they were playing for their jobs, playing for themselves, and not playing team basketball. And when you have a guy like Jabari Smith, who he isn't the guy who's going to come out there and demand the rock. You know what I'm saying? He's made it clear he's here to play team basketball. So when you have a guy like that who's going to play team basketball, you have to play team basketball with him. And there was a lot of guys who didn't look like they were playing team basketball. The coaching to me was weird. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. It seemed like we didn't run any plays out there. I see a lot of like the Detroit Pistons and the OKC Thunder, like they were running plays with the summer league teams with their young guys, and we kind of didn't do too much of that. So the coaching was kind of weird to me. The guard play was really weird and selfish, inconsistent. Tari Easton showed me a lot yesterday. I was really happy with him. Remember, he was, in my opinion, the biggest bright spot for the Rockets yesterday. His defensive energy and effort, and just being a spark plug out there. So I was happy with him. Ty Washington showed me a little bit, and then Jabari and his very limited involvement, he showed me a lot. But yeah, man, that wasn't the type of showing that you want. And hopefully we'll be better on Saturday.
Uh, what were your thoughts on Banchero against Smith last night?
Banchero is, I mean, he was the guy at the top of my board
Mm-hmm.
um coming into the pre-draft process. So I mean, nah, man, he showed what Banchero showed me yesterday. I mean, it is just summer league, but what he showed me yesterday is why I had him at the top of my board. I mean, we're talking about a guy who 6'10" can score from all three levels on the court. And like the thing about him that separates him from the guys who are that size who can do that. There's not that many who can do that, but there's not many guys who can score all three levels and playmaking. Like his playmaking was on full display yesterday as well. And the biggest critique on him was his defense. And I mean, I was always saying that, like, man, like his defense it's going to be perfectly fine at the next level. And I mean, next it is just summer league. It is still very early on, but not, man, his defense was I mean, it was in times it was great yesterday. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. Orlando took him number one. I think he was the best player in the draft. For them, and like I said, he showed me what I knew he was going to show. He was going to be a threat to score from all over the floor. And he was going, was going to find his teammates. So yeah, it was interesting to see him.
My next question is, what are your thoughts for the rest of the summer league schedule for the Rockets?
So we play OKC tomorrow. I
Mm-hmm.
think we play San Antonio, and I think it's Portland. I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, the rest of the summer, my expectations is I just need us to start playing more team oriented basketball. You know what I'm saying? Get the ball moving, get everybody involved, and say let's stop playing for ourselves, stop playing for contracts, and start just playing the right way to win a game of basketball. I need coaching to kind of drive that home and to help them help these young guys out, because there is only so much a first second year player, somebody who's undrafted. There's only so much these guys can do. Like they need some structure, that they need some guidance. So I'm looking to see if coaching can help them out on that department. But beyond that, I just want them to go out there, have fun, play hard, and play for each other. And I mean, if we do that, I don't care. We win or lose. Just as long as they try, they play for each other. I'm happy.
What were your thoughts on the free agency? Uh, the day that free agency came, and what do you think about Kevin Durant's situation? with everything else on the table?
So the Rockets, we didn't really do too much in free agency when we bought out John Wall. We re-signed Jay Sean Tate to a very team-friendly contract, which I'm really high on Jay Sean Tate. So getting him back on such a team-friendly deal was huge for us. And it was, like I said, it's a great contract. But yeah, that, like, other than that, we really haven't done nothing. We've been kind of standing kind of pat. But around the league, I see a lot of guys make some moves. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Jalen Brunson's contract. Whenever I think that's kind of a little bit of overpay. I mean, um, there's some other contracts out there that I was really fond of. But to answer your second question, the Brooklyn Nets situation. I mean, when we traded James Harden to Brooklyn, we got all their draft picks back. So I'm excited. I've been rooting for them to fall apart for a while now because when KD and Kyrie leaves, those picks become a lot more valuable for the Houston Rockets. So um, I'm hopeful that that this is the end of the KD Kyrie era in Brooklyn, and they find their ways to a different team. I mean, it sounds like KD really wants to get to Phoenix. Kyrie really wants to get to the Lakers. So I'm hopeful that that can happen because the second them guys get up out of Brooklyn is looking really good for the Houston Rockets. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at on that.
Uh, it was interesting last night. My friend texted me saying that Kyrie was sitting courtside at the LA WNBA game in LA, and he asked me if that said something that he might be going to the Lakers. What do you think about that?
Um, so I'm not sure if that's I didn't see that. So I'm not sure much um how much to read into that. But I mean, everything that's been coming out suggests that like Kyrie wants to go to LA and LeBron wants him in LA. And
Mhm.
in this player empowerment era where what I'm saying, guys get to completely control their destinies and where they end up, like it's I think the CBA is gonna have to step in because these teams are gonna start getting the short end of the sticks. So I think that if Kyrie really wants to be in LA the way that it's being reported, I mean, maybe he's at these games, scout out the area. And if LeBron is influential and is, like I said, player controlling as he is, like if he's saying yes, bring this guy to LA, and Kyrie saying yes, I want to be in LA. I think it's a matter of when, not if, Kyrie ends up in the Lakers jersey.
Uh, I think you touched some of my next question, but what were your thoughts on Taylor Eason and Ty Washington?
Yeah, no, like I said, Tari Eason, he was somebody who I wanted. Like it's kind of funny that it came full circle because I wanted Tari Eason like way before the draft process. I was like, that's a guy who I think he's what 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan. Plays great defense, and I believe his jump shot isn't quite there just yet. And we saw that yesterday. I think he's like 2 of 9 from three. But we have a great shooting coach. And if Tari Eason can get that jumper to a more respectable state, which I believe he can, I mean, dog, we got a guy who can guard 1 through 4, maybe some fives. What I'm saying? He's a great energy guy. He's great in transition. What I'm saying? He's been vocal out there. I mean, there was a possession where Jabari and Tari were like arguing over who had to guard Banchero. Like the Rockets, we haven't had too many guys like that. Where especially lately, where we have a wing with good size and good athleticism who can take pride on the defensive end. We haven't really had that lately. So I'm excited for him. He was somebody, like I said, I really wanted even before the draft process. I'm a big fan of his game. And then Ty was somebody who kind of surprised me. I didn't think he was going to be there for us at pick 29. I think we're going to be looking at him as maybe somebody who we look back 5 years from now and say that was still the draft. He didn't have the best game, but I said our guard play was pretty inconsistent. He was like one of the only guards who I was like, I'm not mad at you. You know what I'm saying? He did what's supposed to be done. He was finding guys in their spots. He played very unselfish. His energy and effort is there as well. I mean, one thing that Ty's kind of underrated in is his defensive energy. Like he was causing some chaos out there and being disruptive on the defensive end of the floor as well. So I'm happy with both of the two guys. I mean, Ty is somebody who I hope he may not get his shot from game one, but I'm hopeful that at least by the halfway point of the season we have a consistent role from him because I believe a lot in Ty. I'm excited for him.
Uh, what were your thoughts on draft night as the Houston pick? And your thoughts on like what your thoughts are on the Rockets selection?
So I said I had Ben Carroll on the top of my board. So when Woj and everybody was saying that he was gonna be there at pick 3, I was really excited. And then Orlando took a number 1. So it was confusing. It was confusing that the guy who that everybody said was gonna get ended up going number 1. It was like, okay, well that's kind of not how this day was supposed to go. But I mean, I'm not at any point in time mad with Jabari at the pick. I mean, he was, in my opinion, the best player on that board, and we got the best player at the spot. So, I'm excited for how he's going to fit in with his young Houston team. With Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, Kevin Porter Jr. He should slide in perfectly fine at that power forward spot. And he's gonna bring, like I said, something we haven't seen in a Rockets jersey in a very long, maybe ever, honestly, which is a guy who 6'10", 6'11", who can shoot the 3 really, really well, and he can guard multiple positions. So as a team like us that we struggled a lot defensively last season, having him, having Tari, having Ty come in, and then Jalen's making improvements, KB's making improvements. We brought back Jay Sean Tate, Josh Christopher. These guys are all really good defensively. So a team that struggled a lot defensively last season in the past. So hopefully we start seeing that get cleaned up a little bit with Jabari, leading that front, that defensive front. So I mean, like I said, it was an interesting draft night. I was really hoping we got Paulo, but I'm not mad at all with Jabari Smith. I mean, he's the future of this team, and I mean we're ready to move forward with him.
What were your thoughts on the Philadelphia 76ers getting Melton from the Grizzlies and getting rid of Danny Green?
I thought that was a great move for them. I mean, that gives them a backup combo guard who can play one of the two. He's has a little bit of everything to his game. I like that pick for them. I think they're building something nice over there in Philadelphia. If James Harden can come back, he's been in the gym. He's been rehabbing his hamstring, his injury like that. If he can come back to not even I don't think he'll ever be Houston James Harden again. But if he can be just Brooklyn Nets James Harden, just a threat to score and a threat to pass, you know what I'm saying? And then Embiid stays healthy. They brought in, you said Anthony Melton, they got PJ Tucker now. I'm hoping that they come and get Eric Gordon from us, and then he can go over there and hoop with them. I like what they're building over there in Philadelphia. I probably go. There's too many former Rockets between Daniel House, James Harden, PJ Tucker. Y'all got our G League guy. What is his name? Trevelin Queen. Y'all got Trevelin Queen. Picked them up. So yeah, man, there's a lot of former Houston Rockets over there. Y'all got Morey. I'm rooting for y'all to win it all next season. So yeah, I like the D'Anthony Melton. That was a good trade for both teams actually. I think even for the Grizzlies, that was a good trade for them.
So I know there's talks of Boston being the favorites in the East, but do you see Philadelphia stepping up a notch over Boston?
Yeah, I think what cost Philadelphia last year was health. If they were healthy, I think they go a lot further than what they actually did. But I think I said this on the last meeting on the podcast. I think health is the only thing that stopped Milwaukee from going to the finals this year. I think if Chris Middleton was healthy, I think that that they go back to the finals. So they're Milwaukee's my favorites. Way too early favorites to come out of the East, given the current landscape. I like what Boston did when they got Malcolm Brogdon. He should help address a lot of their point guard and playmaking issues that they didn't have last year. So I really like that, especially when you look at what they gave up for him. It really wasn't that much. So I like that a lot. Like I said, I like what Philly's building. And yeah, man. So those are the 3 teams I'm kind of looking. I don't know to watch on the East, but yeah, I think Milwaukee is the team to beat. Even though Boston went to the finals, I think Milwaukee's gonna come back next season. Everybody's healthy. Chris Middleton's healthy. They're gonna be the team you got to watch out for. So that's where I'm
at. It's gonna be a very interesting time for when the KD announces his decision, and I'm definitely looking forward to watching the rest of the summer league, especially seeing you tweet nonstop about Rockets content, and I'm definitely looking forward to having you back on, maybe recapping the summer league and always, you're always welcome to come on.
All right, listen, thank you for having me. I mean, like you touched on it, man. I'm always gonna be tweeting us about the Houston Rockets, Houston sports. So yeah, man, thank you for having me. This was fun. I look forward to doing it again.
Thank you.